Hello guys, today maintenance mains can rejoice because it's endless maintenance. I'm not sure whether right now the servers are open or not, but today something is happening. So the maintenance is being extended forever. It's a good time to make a quick recap of yesterday's live stream. Most of it was centered, of course, on Diana, our new combatant, who is a hunter of a passion element, and I was shocked, to be honest, to see that on the banner there is Mika and not Nia. I know that we just had Nia not long ago on the banner, but Nia is the perfect controller for Diana. Why? Why are you keeping them apart, Smilegate? How could you do this to us? Some details about her. Her birthday is on the 18th of February. She's part of the Holy Crusaders, so as Sir Grindelot, it's mandatory for me to pull for her. Her voice actress is Manaka Iwami. She has a fairly extensive career in voice acting, both gacha games and anime. If you have played any of Oyo gacha games, you've heard her because she was Piper in Zenless Zone Zero, Yzilians in Honkai Star Rail, and Ember in Genshin Impact. So if you ever played Genshin Impact, you've heard her on day one. But she's also voiced many characters in anime. For example, Rice Shower, and I will need a moment here. Now let's move on from that. She has three main mechanics, although the only one that is really worth discussing is Quietus. Quietus is a tag that is applied to some of her cards. When a card with Quietus is discarded, it gets played automatically for free. Which is amazing, because her cards, some of them only cost one, but some others cost way more than that, and they have synergies with each other when you discard them. So it's really important to use her own cards, because she has ways to discard her cards, but also to have other combatants, at least another combatant that allows you to thin the deck, get access to the cards that discard her card. That's why I was mentioning Nia earlier, because I'm really looking forward to play Diana and Nia with 25 million adagios in the deck. I'm really looking forward to that. Resonance is a buff that you deal 80% extra attack and you remove the resonance by 1. Flutters is a crazy amount of stacks that you can build, up to 20. For each stack, you deal 10% extra attack damage, and at the start of the turn, you decrease the flutters. So you want to stack many of these to increase your damage during the turn. At the end of the turn, you also do a little bit of pew pew pew, and you need to do it every turn. Now, let's move on to something a bit more in specific. Here, the slideshow thingy shows what I was explaining earlier. Like, you want to create, draw, and then discard their cards. Ideally, discarding the Quietus cards that have a cost, and then via the stacking of resonance and flutters, you want to increase your damage. Her cards, the base version, look like this. Although, of course, the most interesting part are going to be the epiphanies. Here we want to ignore the three cards at the top of the basic one. Like, she's not a character like Serenial that, to be honest, you can keep the basic attacks sometimes. They're not a must remove. But Diana really doesn't care about Disruption, Fire, and Protect Me. So those three cards, they have to go. Liberated Feelings, the one at the bottom right, is the one that does not have an epiphany. You draw 2 exhaust bullet cards, 300% increased damage amount by 30% for each different bullet card in hand, and she can generate a lot of these bullet cards. So ideally you want to generate a lot of them, hold them in your hand, use Liberated Feelings to deal a gorillion damage, and then you discard or play your bullets. Now let's go a little bit more in depth, checking some of her epiphanies. I think it's a bit too early to go in depth into all of these. Something that I would like to mention, it was also mentioned during the stream, but it's worth mentioning now as well. Epiphany number 4, there is a line that says, when discarded. It's not supposed to be there. Apparently, when the game goes live, eventually, the line, when discarded on Epiphany 4, should not be there. So, with all my heart is what helps you to generate heartbreakers, which are cards with quietus, and I'm really a huge fan of Epiphany 5, the upgrade, because it costs 3, which is a pain, but it has quietus. So if you discard it, you play it without paying the free action points, which is amazing. At the start of a turn, you generate 2 of your own cards, and if less than 5 heart bullets overall are owned, you create 1 more. For me, it's phenomenal, and I'm really looking forward to have a deck with a couple of those, because it does not have a unique tag. Come here, Milk and Pong, the names of her 2 floaty friends. An interesting way for her to discard the cards and create cards. All her kit revolves around that. Then we have Blooming Love, which is a draw/discard mechanic. And there are a few options here that I find very, very interesting, and that can synergize also with other combatants. Because, of course, if you have Diana, the best controller is going to be Nia. The third character is very flexible, but I'm really looking forward to play Renoir. Because Renoir has ways to discard cards in hand, meaning that she can discard Diana's cards, but also the other way around. If you look at the Epiphany at the center, discard up to 3 bullet cards in hand. Not her own bullet cards, any bullet card. So you could have 3 bullet cards from Renoir in your hand, you discard them, Renoir goes pew pew pew, and then you draw extra cards. And you can keep discarding and drawing. I think the synergy is going to be extremely fun. And then we have her Ego skill, which costs 5. There is a way to reduce it to 4, but you need to whale for that. What it does is it creates 1 Cupid shot and 2 heart bullets. The Cupid shot, I put it on the right of the screen, is a bullet with quietus. It deals 100% damage, 60% extra damage to a random enemy for each bullet card in hand. Pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. And then we go to a unique thing that is not just unique for Diana, but it's introduced in this patch. Each character, for a not insignificant cost, now increases the chance of having Divine Epiphanies by 25%. They showcased it for her first, but actually every combatant is going to have this. The slight bummer, but I think it's okay, it keeps things interesting long term, is the cost. Because it costs 6 weekly materials just to activate this specific potential node. It's not cheap, it takes a while, so make sure you do all your weeklies rather, without skipping them, because this is going to be a must-have on all the characters that we play more often. Suggested teams, as usual, they are spot on. The good/bad thing about Chaos Zero Nightmare is that they're always very accurate in the team suggestions that they provide, so it's not like we can be playtesting like, oh, there is this secret illegal team. No, this is going to be great for her, and, you know, based on your account you can make some changes, but personally I'm really looking forward to the team up the top. And then her partner, Sophia, again part of the Holy Crusader, born on April 21st, so she's going to celebrate her birthday this month. I will be talking about Sophia more in particular when I do a showcase and discussion about Diana in the coming days, after I got the chance to play her a little bit, because I don't like to pull a character, build it, do the demo and make a showcase. It's not a thing that I do. Just by the look of it, I would be very happy about pulling Sophia. I have suggested skipping many of the recent partners, but it looks to me like Sophia has a lot of value for Diana. Good stats, good effects. She can be used by other combatants as well. So overall, she gets a pre-release thumbs up from me. Then we go to the actual events of the update. It's a pre-season, but it's actually pretty stacked. There is going to be a new style of chaos exploration called Firebreak. We do not get save data from this chaos exploration, and it's something that I really want to see the feedback of the community for this, because for me this is amazing, but I am someone who does not see Chaos Zero Nightmare as a gacha game. Like, I play Chaos Zero Nightmare because it's a roguelike card game that I like a lot. And this update is releasing a new exploration, a new way to do Chaos exploration, irrespective of save data, with new modifiers, new effects, new things. So for me it's amazing. But I believe there will be some people who will go on Reddit, Twitter, or whatever, and will be angrily typing, "What the hell, Smilegate? Why did you give this game mode no save data? Give us more male characters. All the sort of nonsense." But for me, this is an extremely positive update. And here is an example of how it will work. There are going to be 3 planets, 4 difficulties, and more importantly, or rather interestingly, we can recycle old unused save file to apply extra buffs and extra modifiers to our runs. So instead of just recycling them for cash at the end of a run, we can keep them there, then we go to this exploration run, we dump them, and we get extra modifiers that will also unlock things. It looks very interesting for me. Then we get this game mode. There are 3 bosses. They're not new bosses, it's enemies that we already know very well. We will require 3 teams to clear them. And it's not shown clearly on screen right now, but there is a score required to get the maximum rewards, and the maximum was around 1 million. It looked to me like the bonuses really heavily shield Diana. But we shall see what happens when it's actually released. So far they have been fairly casual in the requirements for clearing things to get max rewards, so I'm not too concerned about it, even for people who skip Diana. A preview of Season 3, they call it a sneak peek. This is where we will be able to essentially play in advance some of the game mechanics that will be included in Season 3. And one of those, which for me is very interesting, are the Persona cards, which I believe are in the next slide. There we go. They're going to be cards very specific for each combatant. They can be modified during a run, called engravings, to enhance them and make them become even better. This looks very interesting because it means that based on which combatant you get, you are going to get different Persona cards, and they're going to further modify and give a different feeling to the Chaos runs. It's very important. I cannot understate this enough, because it's really important for them to keep releasing stuff that provide changes to Chaos runs, because it's the thing that we do 95% of the time in Chaos Zero Nightmare. So the fact that each patch, each cycle, they add things, they do new things, new mechanics, new stuff in general, for me is great. I really appreciate it. For me, it never feels stale. But, again, your mileage may vary, because I am not the kind of guy who will spend 20 minutes rerolling the God's blessing at the beginning of a run to get the perfect one, and I'm not the kind of guy who will spend the time trying to get the perfect save file halfway through the first half of a run, otherwise they restart. Most of the time I do full runs because I have fun, and if I get a go to the save file, that's even better. Equipment Equipment engravings, again, the synergy that they have with the Persona cards to make both the equipment and the Persona cards stronger. Very, very interesting. Of course, there is going to be Diana's story event, Love Gathered at the Wingtips. I'm really curious to find out why she has one pink wing. She's not really a one-winged angel because she has a million wings everywhere. Plus, she has a floaty friend, but she has this one pink wing. I want to know what's going on with that. And oh, the wallpaper, Nia's wallpaper, finally. And for the most part, it's a wallpaper that people like me can use. I've mentioned many times that I've been using Veronica's wallpapers since basically I got her a few weeks into the game because it's the only one that is completely family and work friendly. But this one is also okay. There is a bit of, badonkers, but it's not too bad. I like this. Some improvement update for the partner system. It's difficult to give an opinion on this because we do not know the details yet, but apparently what is going to happen is that all the partners are going to get buffed to some extent. How much? We don't know. Maybe it's going to be like +2 attack, +1 defense, +0, and it doesn't matter. But maybe there will be more interesting buffs, better effects that will make partners better value to pull. Because, to be honest, right now, if you have never pulled a partner in the game, you're not missing out on pretty much anything in terms of power level. For me, there are a couple that are very, very good, like Peiko for Serenial, and Tiana, very, very good for Tifera. But in general, most partners are very skippable. So I'm glad to see them getting some buffs. Improvement updates. This is a slide with a few changes here and there. We get the new stories in the Unigram for Renoa, Selena, Rino, Orle, Veronica, and Luke. And every character, you can see there at the bottom, every character is going to get the node for Divine Epiphany 25% increased chance. Nice. And then there is going to be a half anniversary offline event, probably with some gifts, because Ami pop-up store, celebration merchandise, and all this sort of stuff. There is definitely going to be some sweet merch either to purchase or to try to win, so I'm looking forward to that. This was a quick recap of a patch that is going to drop today sometime, and I hope you have been enjoying the game because I've been absolutely loving Casino Nightmare so far. And in a few days, I will be giving you my thoughts on Diana and her little friend. Bye guys, take care!